The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
And a good Tuesday morning to you. Welcome to the show. Senior producer Ryan Nicholson in charge of things this morning. Guarantee Bank Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. We're in the Jarrett Construction Studios, right on time, right on budget. Visit jarrett-construction.com. Phone calls to the show, a service of Guarantee Bank, opening soon in Charleston, 1320 Kanawha Boulevard East. And texting services provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Taylor, Virginia Street in Charleston. Next big trunk show is coming up on April 23rd, the Malcolm Trousers Trunk Show. Also, don't forget to stop by and check out the stuff you're going to need for the upcoming Kentucky Derby. Tony's got the hookup for that. And going back to this trunk show he's going to be doing on the 23rd, lunch will be provided by Paulie's Italian. For more, check out Tony's Facebook page or bestmastertaylor.com. Welcome to the show, Tuesday edition. Metro News meteorologist Brian Hughes says we could see some scattered showers today, near record high temperatures in the upper 80s. Muggy tonight, low in the mid-60s or so. Then tomorrow, that's when we're going to break records. It looks like highs in below 90s. And we're going to hold on to a chance of thunderstorms pretty much through the end of the week. Some scattered storms, continued warm. Big cool down, though, if you consider the 60s a cool down by the time Sunday rolls around. You can follow Metro News meteorologist Brian Hughes on Facebook and listen for him on air, too. Coming up a little bit later on, State Treasurer Larry Pack will stop by. We're going to talk to Kanawha County School Board member who is hoping you'll reelect her to that post, Becky Jordon. And, of course, your calls and texts are welcome too. Guarantee Bank Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. Welcome to the show now from the Forks of Coal Foundation. Frank Coulter is here. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, and thank you for having me on this morning.
Maybe you pull that microphone a little bit closer to you there, sir. You don't have the Jim Strawn voice, you know. Thank goodness for that. Anyway, so Frank's with us. Tell us about, first of all, before we get, you have a specific event going on this weekend. Tell us about the group, the Forks of Coal Foundation. What is it that you do?
Well, the Forks of Coal is a state natural area located out on Coulter G, about 4 miles south along Coulter G, and it is a 150-acre established park. It's a natural area. There's no bicycling. It's all pedestrian travel and hiking. We have 3 or 4 miles of hiking trails to do, and we have the Claudia L. Workman Education Center, which has animals that have been taxidermied and stuffed, and we have some live animals. We have the 1,500-gallon aquarium that has all the natural fish that's in the Coal River, so you can see what's in the Coal River.
So now I wonder how many people, though. I mean, of course they've heard of your group, but I wonder how many people didn't know about that Wildlife Education Center.
A lot. We have about 7,000 students come through a year with their school tours and everything, but we find so many people don't know about the center and don't know about the Forks. It's a new area. It was donated to the state in 2016 by Jack Workman, and the education center was dedicated to his wife, and it was started construction in 2020 and just finished in 2022. So we're fairly new, and the foundation is a support group to back up the state, and we have a group of volunteers that come out and help clean the trails and do things, and we are now starting a endowment campaign so that we'll have a lasting funding source to be able to match grants and expand our education programs and expand things inside the natural area.
Now, you said it's out on the corridor. Explain where it is for folks. What's the best way to describe it?
If you're heading south towards Boone County, we're about 4 miles south of South Ridge, and it's on the right-hand side.
Okay.
And it's just before you go, you've got the double bridges going into Lincoln County, and we're just before the second bridge.
You have an event coming up this Saturday. It's called Rooted in Conversation, the Adopt a Tree fundraiser. Talk about that.
Yes, that is our initial endowment campaign to raise money for the endowment, and we have we're going to have seedlings that you can purchase and go out and plant in the forest and have your name on it. And with that, you'll get a brick that'll go in our front walkway with your name and the year. We have memorial trees that we can get. You can go out and select a mature tree in the forest and make it a memorial for a loved one in your family that you can go visit and see it grow and be in the woods with it. And we have a corporate grove that we can plan as a team event for your corporation to come out and do and plant 50 white pine trees into a grove. So it's a fairly forested property, but we can always use more trees. The trees we're going to plant are going to be native to West Virginia. They're going to be nut-bearing trees and the white pine trees.
How many acres do you have out there?
We currently have 150 acres on what we're calling the north side, which is the developed side now. And the probate has just granted us another 150 acres on the other side of the corridor, which we are developing and starting to open up.
Talking to Frank Coulter again from the Forks of Coal Foundation. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. Believe it or not, opening day is coming up real soon next week, as a matter of fact. Single game tickets and season tickets are on sale now at the website. And get your tickets for the May 5th WVU Marshall baseball game over at Gomar Ballpark by visiting dirtybirdsbaseball.com. You talked about the corporations, companies getting involved in things like this. This would be a great team building thing for a company. They're always looking for outings like that, or for kids in school that are needing community service hours, or church groups, or civic organizations, all kinds of great stuff.
It is. And, the event is going to go from 10 till noon. If a corporation would want to do that, we can accommodate it. Just call us and get on our website, Forks of Coal, and contact us, and we will work with you to come up with a date and time to come do that.
It sounds like this thing is really exciting, and I think that the Workman family should be commended for this.
Yes.
For this center that they've put in out there, because again, I mean, it may be one of the best kept secrets around, because I just don't think a lot of people know about it. But it sounds like you got great things going on out there.
We do. We have a lot of other events as well.
Talk about those.
We have the Avian Center. Usually comes once or twice a year and brings their raptors, the eagles, the owls, and everything, and have those live birds there and talks about them. We'll have the Reptile Center down from Hurricane come in. We'll have fly fishing classes, and we'll have hikes led by naturalists out through the property at different times during the year. So you can check out our website and see the event listing and things, and we're welcome to do it. Part of the campaign for this is to get our marketing out and get our name out and have people come through. We have a lot of school groups come through now, but we have a lot of families come out and do the Governor's Mountaineer Mile on one of our trails. And the trails are fairly moderate, so they're not real technically difficult or anything. So come out and visit us.
I was going to ask you about the difficulty of the trails, because, I mean, when you hear the word trails, it could be any number of things. It could be almost like you're up in the Himalayas or something. But you can have ones that are more for people like me that are almost like downtown streets. That's what I need.
That's correct, and we have those trails.
All right. Again, give us the website or social media, wherever people can learn more about this.
If you look up Forks of Coal, that's all you have to type into your Google search, and you'll get our web page, our Facebook page, the state's website, and their web page, their Facebook page, and you can get to any of them through that.
And review what all's going on this weekend. Again, give us all the details on that.
We're having a adopt a tree program to where you can come out and purchase a seedling and plant it out on a property. We're having the center will be open. You can go through the center and see everything that's there at the center.
And things start at what time?
10 o'clock. Runs till noon.
All right. Frank, I appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot. Frank Coulter.
I appreciate you inviting me.
Absolutely. Don't let it be the last time. Come back in. You said you needed marketing, man. We can do that for you.
Okay. We appreciate it.
But you got Jim Strawn out there. That's the king of the marketing, so he'll help you out.
He does a great job.
He does something. But I'm kidding. I know he's listening right now. Jimbo's a buddy. So Forks of Coal Foundation, and you're part of the board there, Frank Coulter. Appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot. Hang out with me just one second. It's 9:17. The Dave Allen Show. on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Generations Ford of Hurricane, your family and locally owned Ford dealership providing customers with X-Plan discount pricing on select new Ford vehicles, meaning you pay what Ford suppliers pay. And if you need service, they offer customer pickup and delivery. Check them out today just off the Hurricane exit of I-64 or online, generationsford.com, one destination for every generation. Generations Ford, see dealer for details. Guarantee Bank Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. State Treasurer Larry Pack coming up a little bit later on in the show. Kanawha County Board Member Becky Jordon coming up next on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses care for your family.
All law firms are not the same. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Office 222 Capitol Street, Charleston. Cases will be handled by West Virginia licensed attorneys. The attorney in this ad is not licensed in West Virginia. ForThePeople.com.
My name's Chris Miller. I'm president of Dutch Miller Automotive. Jarrett Construction completely renovated and helped redesign Dutch Miller Kia in South Charleston. The fit and the finish and the quality of the project is exceptional. He has an attention to detail and an eye for that kind of stuff. You always want to give your best to your customer. It's just as important to him as it is to you. If you're ever looking to build anything, I'd call Jarrett Construction because you know exactly you're going to get something excellent every single time.
Call on Jarrett Construction.
Running a business in the Kanawha Valley means dealing with a lot at once. Customers, employees, deadlines, and 100 little problems that pop up during the day. Technology shouldn't be one of them. At Next Level Technologies, we help Charleston area businesses keep their systems secure, backed up, and running smoothly so the workday stays on track. If you're spending too much time dealing with computer problems, it may be time for a better approach. Learn more at nextleveltech.com. Next Level Technologies, practical IT, strategic outcomes.
Bonjour, Charleston. It's time to spice things up. Bienvenue Bourbon Street Bistro on Lee Street East. Serving up bold New Orleans flavor right here home. We talking piled high po' boys, fresh seafood, and made from scratch goodness that hits you right from the very first bite. Fresh, flavorful, and anything but boring. Perfect for lunch when you need a break from that same old, same old. Open 6 days a week, closed Sundays. If you're ready to spice up your routine, Bourbon Street Bistro is bringing the flavor. Sure enough now. Bourbon Street Bistro, where Charleston meets the Big Easy.
The latest in news, talk, and sports on 580 WCHS is brought to you by Jarrett Construction. Visit jarrett-construction.com for more information.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
Welcome back to the show. It's 9:20. State Treasurer Larry Pack coming up a little bit later on in the show. Guarantee Bank Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. Welcome to the show now, Becky Jordon. How are you doing, Becky? Welcome to the show.
I'm good. Thanks for having me today.
Current member, Kanawha County Board of Education, and you're hoping to be reelected. Before we get into the campaign, tell us about you, for those that may not know you. Give us a little bio on Becky Jordon.
Sure. I'm Becky Jordon. I've grown up in Charleston all my life. I am a graduate of public schools in Kanawha County. I married a man that's also a graduate of public schools, raised 4 children in the Kanawha County school system. I am a clinical therapist at a local hospital. I do different therapies, behavioral health, addiction, and something I've done, a long time.
And how long have you been on the school board?
I've been on the school board for 24 years.
Okay, so why did you run in the first place? Because I want to just say, the changes you must have seen in public schools in 24 hours. We'll talk about that. But what made you run for Board of Education to begin with back then?
Okay, when I first ran 24 years ago, I was very involved. I had 4 kids, all in every different age group of school system. And I noticed that everybody on the school board was retired, and it was very unprofessional. I remember walking my baby, watching it, and they were yelling, and it was so unprofessional. So I ran my first campaign as a parent on board, and I will be professional. Mm-hmm. And I worked hard when I got on that board that if I disagreed with those board members, I made sure that when I left that boardroom, I was talking to them when we walked out. Because you can't have a board and not work well with everybody. And I felt like I've always worked well with all my board members.
Okay.
And
that's a big part of it, too.
It is.
I mean,
because we have a lot of work to do together. And whether we agree or not, we got to work on it.
Right. What are you most proud of so far? One or two things that you're most proud of in your service to the people of Kanawha County?
Some of the beautiful schools that we've built.
Okay.
Herbert Hoover. I mean, I think it's the prettiest high school in the state of West Virginia, and those kids deserve it. I mean, living in portables for so many years, and so many of them lost their homes during a difficult time. So many of the different programs that we have in our school system, the different arts programs that we have, VOTEC programs. We've always maintained a balanced budget. Our special ed programs, our gifted programs, our music programs, our counseling programs, our professional development programs for our staff. And we've done so much, and we've had to close schools.
Yeah.
And more of that was just in the past few years.
Right. Yeah. And that kind of leads me to my next point again. We're talking to Becky Jordon from the Kanawha County Board of Education. Last few years, Becky, as you well know, have been tough on public education, not just in Kanawha County, but statewide, nationwide. First we had COVID that you had to deal with, then consolidations due to population loss and dealing with aging buildings, aging infrastructures, things of that nature. And for better or for worse, more and more parents are choosing other ways other than traditional public school like you and I, went to. More and more people, for one reason or another, are choosing that, being homeschooling, private schools, charter schools, Hope Scholarship, whatever the case may be. As a board member, how do board members and school staffs navigate through all that? Because that's a lot.
It's difficult. When we lose enrollment, we have to cut staff, and we lose funding. But we feel like, we're always going to advocate for public school, and I think parents should have a choice. They're the parent. They know best for their child. But I'm a big supporter because I grew up, my memories of my public schools and walking to J.E. Robbins and Woodrow Wilson and Stonewall. I just had the best memories, and going to sporting events and pep rallies and everything I had the opportunity to have. That's my job, to help provide for children here in Kanawha County, the ones that their parents choose that for them. And I feel like we have lost a lot of parents that have left our community, But yeah, a lot have chosen to take the Hope money and do other education.
Yeah, we're talking to Becky Jordon again from the Kanawha County Board of Education, who is running for re-election. Yeah, it has been a very difficult time. Navigating through, as I said, through COVID and all these other things. When you're out on the campaign trail, or even when you're not campaigning, Becky, when you're just talking to people at Kroger or at church or wherever you may be, what do you hear from parents, grandparents of students in Kanawha County? What do they tell you?
Well, it just depends what's going on at that time. Years ago, different parents wanted to transfer maybe different schools, and schools were more crowded. We couldn't do that. It all varies. Just what's going on in the community.
Right.
I feel like overall, they know that their staff is always approachable at their schools. Even our superintendent, you can get a hold of her any day. So not everybody's always going to be happy, but I feel like if they have an issue, they can get answers almost in the same day from our staff.
And we talked about consolidation earlier, and let's be honest here, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see their community. Because when, in my opinion, I saw it happen, time and time again in my time on earth, is when communities lose those schools, a bit of the community goes away with it. But sometimes it's economic. Sometimes it just costs more to keep those schools operating. And sometimes I think maybe those outside the realm don't understand that you're putting a lot more money into it.
Right.
And that can be very difficult.
We have a lot of older schools. And one thing I failed to mention, something very proud of, is, when I first started on the school board, I can think of one school that had security system to get in. And I remember at the time thinking, it was Kanawha City Elementary, I think. And I remember thinking, why would they have that? And now we don't have one school that doesn't have security system. It's just changing of what's going on in our world too.
Yeah,
and we spend a lot of money to keep our schools safe. And we have the different officers that are in plain clothing that are in schools every day. And then we have other officers that are in their uniforms that are in the schools. I mean, we do everything to keep our children safe.
And times have definitely changed. I can remember, back in the day, parents coming to school or anybody just walk right into school and go. But it's different times. You certainly can't. In some of the schools that I have traveled to back in a former job when I used to go into a lot of public schools around the state of West Virginia when I was working for the Secretary of State's office and used to go do voter registration drives. And I could have gotten into Fort Knox easier than I could in some of these schools. But it's part of it. It's part of where we are right now. So when you go out on the campaign trail, I ask you what people say to you. What do you say to them? What's your message to them?
Well, that our goal is always to educate and to help our children, prepare our children for the next step in life. And that's our goal in Kanawha County Schools. And our goal right now is we want all of our children to graduate with their cohorts. And the staff know that. We work with them. We don't want any child left behind. We want them all to graduate. So they have many opportunities when they do.
And it is amazing to me, Becky, some of the stories that we hear from our public schools and how far our kids go from West Virginia. We all know that every boy and girl in those classrooms have got potential in some way. And it's just, I guess, up to the teachers and others to try to bring that out to them. And let's, in your 24 years you've been on the school board, the parenting situations have changed too. Their at-home situation. And I think sometimes forget that teachers in 2026 are asked to be so much more than what they were 30 years ago.
Oh, absolutely. And that's another reason that I am a big public school supporter, because I feel like adults need to put their eyes on children. Are they safe? Are they being harmed? Are they being fed? Are they getting their medical attention? And that's something adults will know if they're around their children. And that's so important.
Talking to Becky Jordon again from the Kanawha County Board of Education, who's running for re-election to the board. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants. When environmental questions come up in a building, Pinnacle provides clear answers. They specialize in asbestos, lead, mold, and indoor air quality issues with accredited lab testing based right here in West Virginia. Learn more at pinnaclecorp.net, helping you understand your environment, because what you don't know can hurt you. All right, so if you are reelected to school board, kind of what's on your wish list? I know you're part of a board, so you can't go in and just say, well, I want to do this and this, but what are some things you'd like to work on in the future if reelected with whomever you are elected with? What's some things that need to be done in Kanawha County Schools, in your opinion?
Sadly, it's not a happy goal, but we will have to consolidate some schools. We will be closing schools because we have to balance our budget. But the goal will always be to provide our kids with the best education. Wherever we're putting them in schools, it's all about getting them the best education, really. And I will continue working with that and provide our staff with the tools to do that. Do
you have a Facebook or website or anything like that people can find out more information about you? Okay.
I do not. But anyone can call me on my cell, look on Kanawha County School website. My number is posted on it. And feel free to call me. I don't mind at all.
And trust me, people do call you.
Sure. That's fine.
I've told this story before. Yeah. My cousin was the president of the school board in another county, and he told me about the kind of phone calls that you guys get. I mean, you sign up for it, but sometimes it can be. And I had another friend who served on the Board of Education in Northern West Virginia. He said everybody should have to do it. It should be like jury duty. Everybody should have to do it. So I do a thing with every candidate, Becky. I call the final 30, and I just basically ask, and I don't time it, so it's totally your time. Why should someone vote to keep Becky Jordon on the Kanawha County Board of Education?
Because I do listen, and I've been very accessible to everyone in this community for the past 24 years, and we are going through some troubling times with our enrollment and staffing. And with my institutional knowledge, I feel that I can stay on the course for a successful system. And I appreciate your vote.
Becky Jordon for Kanawha County Board of Education for re-election. We appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You as well. Hang out with me 1 second. 29 minutes now before 10 o'clock. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan. If you're injured, hire Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. We'll take the break a bit early. Coming back with State Treasurer Larry Pack. And throughout the show, you can call or text me. Guarantee Bank Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Vitaylor text 304-935-5008. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses have been creating jobs in West Virginia since 1997.
Tired of your floors looking like 1980? Then head on over to Nitro Carpet and Design Center. With West Virginia's best selection of carpet, tile, hardwood, and custom flooring, your home can transform from drab to fab. Plus, with design support, installation, and financing options, it's easier than ever to turn your home into fabulous. Visit Nitro Carpet and Design Center, right off the interstate at New Goff Mountain Road in Cross Lanes. Go from drab to fab. Visit nitrocarpet.com today.
For the past decade, West Virginia has had one of the most conservative state senates in America, and much of that leadership has come from Dr. Tom Takubo.
I'm Dr. Tom Takubo. As your state senator, I led the charge to end abortion here in West Virginia and protect innocent life. We were one of the first states in the nation to ban transgender surgeries and protect our children, and I've consistently voted to defend our Second Amendment rights.
Proven conservative leadership, Dr. Tom Takubo for State Senate.
Paid for by Takubo for Senate.
Spring has sprung. Keep up with the high school baseball, softball, and track seasons with coverage from Joe Bricado and Greg Carey on Metro News TV. Plus episodes of our exclusive interview series, State of Minds, archived Tough Man events, and your favorite daily programs right on your smart TV or streaming device. Get more information at wvmetronewstv.com. Metro News Television is powered by Dan Cava GMC, Gomart, Lou Wendell Marine, and Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Welcome back to the show. 25 minutes in front of 10 o'clock. Guarantee Bank Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Vitaylor text 304-935-5008. We'll get to State Treasurer Larry Pack here in a couple moments. I got a couple texts. Your text says, dang, Green Power really fumbling the goodwill and excitement that they had. It is sad. Text says, Dave had to share congratulations to the WVU dance team for being crowned the 2026 Division 1A Palm Grand champions and the 2026 National Cheer Association and National Dance Association College National champions over the weekend in Daytona. Indeed, congratulations. State Treasurer Larry Pack is here. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Hey, great. How are you? Beautiful morning.
It is a beautiful morning, so they tell me. I wouldn't know. I'm trying to get a window, Larry. You're state treasurer. Can you get me a window somewhere?
Oh, absolutely. I think we can do that.
This, I mean, just so I could just like see what's out there.
Yeah, it is absolutely
just
gorgeous.
Look at it.
Gorgeous spring morning, no question.
I want to talk for a moment about the Hope Scholarship. Applications now well over, 20,000? Talk about that.
Yeah, we want to give an update so that mostly we give an update so the legislature, governor, everybody knows how many people are signed up. So we got about 20,000 students signed up. It's about 8,000 new students from last year. So it seems like we're getting a lot of activity. Not every student from that was Hope last year is also signed up, but 20,000 total. We got 2 months left in signups. We got to go to June 15th. We're estimating somewhere in the 30,000 range as far as parents and students that would take advantage of the Hope Scholarship. So again, we're trying to build awareness, trying to make sure everybody knows that you got 2 months to sign up. We're trying to encourage people to sign up early so we don't have a big rush towards the end. But, when it comes to education, choice, I don't think there's anything other than maybe the faith journey of your child that the parents work on more and think about more and pray about more. So a lot of parents are taking advantage of this alternative for their children.
What's the biggest misconception about the Hope Scholarship to you, State Treasurer?
I think the biggest misconception is that parents are not thoughtfully making their choice. I think people really get that wrong. I mean, again, the majority of students will go to public schools, right? We got about 230,000 in public schools. So it makes sense we're going to have some that choose a different path. We know one size does not fit all. I have 6 children. They're all different. They all learn different. And that's really what parents are dealing with. They're trying to get their children a good education, the education that fits their child, which is different. And they make really thoughtful decisions. And so what Hope Scholarship does is give parents the option to make these decisions.
What would you say to those, State Treasurer, who would say it hurts public schools?
I really don't think so on the margins. We really believe that we believe that very few students that currently choose Hope Scholarship would have went to public schools. We are thinking of our current 16,000 for this school year. We think maybe a couple thousand would have went to public schools otherwise. 2,000 over 55 counties is not a lot of students. So we don't really think that's the big driver. Most of our students that are taking advantage of Hope Scholarship, we believe, would have went Hope Scholarship anyway. Would have went private school, would have went homeschool anyway. So that's what we're seeing so far. And I think it's what we're seeing nationwide. But it is an alternative for parents who think that their particular public school doesn't fit their child's needs.
It is interesting that you said that about how every kid's different. I know a person who has 5 kids, and of those 5 kids, I think like 2 went to public school, 1 was homeschooled, 1 went to private school. So I guess parents know their kids, as you said.
Parents know their kids, and there's some children you can put in any setting, they're going to be successful. There's other children that need to be in like I had one of my sons, he needed to be in a smaller system. They just he weren't much better for him. But again, parents are thoughtfully making these decisions. This legislation, this program gives them an opportunity for choice. And again, and basically the money can follow the parent. So it follows the student. We think it's a really good program, but we do not think it is really creating a lot of the issues that the public school system is. And the public school system absolutely has a lot of issues. At our high mark back a number of years ago, we had 600,000 students, over 600,000 students in public schools. We're down about 230, and we still have a lot of the same infrastructure. So it's really difficult for the public school systems to react, particularly since we have this very regimented system about how they're supposed to do what they're supposed to do. And so I'm hoping that we really get some focus on public schools. Our Board of Education, our superintendents, our teachers need help. They need us from a big picture to really come down and try to help them. And we need to make some decisions. How many schools do we need to close? How are we going to change it? Change the funding deal? Do we want to pay teachers adequately, or do we want to pay teachers 50%? We'll be in 50%, which we are now, or 50th place as we are now. So I think we got some big issues with public school. And I don't know public schools, roads, I'm not sure which is 1 and which is 2 when it comes to state government, right? But they're definitely 1 and 2.
When it comes to public, we're talking to State Treasurer Larry Pack. When it comes to public schools, and I'll go ahead and say, since you threw out there roads, we'll put them together. Do you think the legislature has done enough, in your opinion? State government and the legislature has done enough?
Well, I think first of all, I'll go with roads. Mm-hmm. I think we've really lost a lot of momentum in the last couple of years on roads. Thankfully the legislature has added money to the budget the last couple of years, money to the governor's budget for roads. But I travel with West Virginia all the time. West Virginia, we live on 2-lane roads. We don't live on 4-lane roads, and our 2-lane roads need a lot of help and they need a lot of attention. So the legislature restored some of the money that the governor cut out last year to the road fund, but we need to do more. I do think we're kind of going the wrong direction there. And then with schools, we just haven't faced the issue that our school systems are struggling, and they're struggling because of the loss of students with basically the same overhead. We're also struggling that, like for the last couple of years on teacher salaries, we've given them a 3% raise, a 1.5% raise the last 2 years. Inflation's just crushing us, right? Inflation's probably been 7 or 8%. So we're paying our teachers less than we were. We're still in 50th place. So we're saying we're having trouble retaining teachers. We're having trouble attracting teachers. And it's because we're not paying enough. If you go to West Virginia Tech for 4 years, I'm a Golden Bear, you come out and your starting salary is about $42,000. you can go to Target without going for your education and get the same. We need to do better.
Talking again with State Treasurer Larry Pack. I want to talk pot for a moment, as in the medical marijuana fund. So now, correct me if I'm wrong in any of this. So the governor vetoed H. Bill 5074, basically changing the distributions in the medical cannabis funding. So now the money goes out. 55% of the revenue goes to the Bureau of Public Health. The rest to funds to fight substance abuse, some for grants to help law enforcement training, diversion programs, et cetera, et cetera. So break all this down and explain what it means.
Okay. So a couple of things that were happening during this session. I think the first thing that was happening was we became aware, I think last summer, I became aware last summer, maybe even earlier last summer, that the money that was in the medical marijuana fund had been frozen since the inception of the program back in 2016 or 2017, and it had built up, and so there's about $30 million. And the reason it was frozen is that when it was initially put in place, the federal government took a really hard line on money that came from the sale of marijuana, even medical marijuana. So we could not, from the state standpoint, the two previous treasurers couldn't figure out how to put the money into the bank account so it could be spent. So it was sitting in a credit union. So we spent about 6 months, worked through all that, got the money freed up. And that happened about the time the legislature was out of session, that we finally got the money freed up where it's now in the state's bank account that it can be accessed and go for progress. The legislature, what they were working on the entire session is they basically went back and revisited the allocations that were set forth back in 2016, 2017, and probably the first or second year of Governor Justice administration. And they thought that it needed to be changed. So what the legislature wanted to do in the bill was they wanted a portion of the money just to go into the general fund, and they wanted the other portion to go through basically some studies and some research. Mm-hmm. The original bill said, again, about half of it goes to public health, half of it goes to some other things. So the governor basically didn't like the new allocation. His veto message kind of was a little confusing to me. It sounded like he wanted more money for tax cuts, and really, if he'd let it go through, we'd had more money in general fund. So just basically, we basically went back to the original allocation that was in place in 2016, 2017, the legislature at that time that they chose. So we're going back to that. Half of it basically goes to public health, and the other parts go to other directions. But none of it will go into general fund now.
Talked again with State Treasurer Larry Pack. All right, so I want to talk some politics. You good to talk a little politics?
Sure. Right. This is the season. It's four weeks from today.
Yeah, I don't know whether you know this or not, but there's an election coming up.
Yes.
There really should be more signs.
There should be more signs. I've been traveling this week. I've been seeing a lot of signs in the last couple of weeks.
So the governor and the First Lady Secretary have been making endorsements ahead of the May 12th primary, endorsing some Republicans over others. Your thoughts on that?
Well, it's the first time that in my lifetime that this has ever happened, and I've watched and participated in a lot of elections over my lifetime. So we've never seen a governor come out front and involve himself in the primaries in a very forceful way, and also raise hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to beat some people and elect some people. So this is really new territory for West Virginia, and it's created a lot of dissension. I think we had a lot of dissension anyway the last couple years, and we've seen that in the legislature from the lack of progress in the legislature. And this is definitely going to has tuned it up. So there'll be millions of dollars spent in this election. A lot of hard feelings I think are going to be created. I don't think there's anything that's going to happen 4 weeks from today that's going to change the trajectory of West Virginia, that's going to help West Virginia move forward. If anything, I think it's going to harden feelings, and I think it's going to be more and more difficult to get things done going forward.
I said this on Talkline when they invited me on yesterday, Treasurer. I said, look, nobody's naive enough to think that in the past that a governor, no matter who they were or what their party was, didn't have in their mind who they wanted elected to certain seats. I mean, and they may have made a phone call. They may have gotten together for a cocktail or whatever and said, hey, you need to support something. But I don't know that we've, again, not saying it's right or wrong. I'm like you. I don't know that I've seen it as overt as what it is now with not only the governor, but also the First Lady out, basically saying, don't vote for this guy, vote for this guy instead.
Yeah, no, I think it's exactly right. So you saw a little sneaking around and so forth. I think the other thing is for many years, and particularly when the Democrat Party had the supermajorities, you basically had the labor faction and the business faction, right? This is a little different in that if you look at the slate, if you will, that's been proffered by the governor, they're basically those candidates to me they cover the entire spectrum of Republican, or anybody you could call a Republican. So they don't really fit in a box. And so some of them are what we'd almost call very liberal Republicans, good people, but very liberal Republicans, to the most conservative that you could think of. And so it's really kind of interesting how it's kind of coming out. But I do think at the end of the day, we're going to get back in the next session. It's going to be very similar to this session. I'm not running your bill because you worked against me, you're not my friend, or the governor doesn't want this bill run because he said something about that. So it just creates a lot of dissension. And we know that, a house divided will not stand, right? So we're not going to move forward to work on the things that West Virginians care about. I think we're going to continue to play these petty politics. We're going to continue to have a lot of infighting, and West Virginia is not going to move forward.
And you travel a lot, as you said. You're on your way out of here, heading somewhere else. What do you hear from people when you're out there? Just about anything. I mean, when you are going to a town hall, or you're going to a school or a city hall or whatever it is you're doing, what do you hear from the people in West Virginia, Larry?
West Virginians are the best people in the world, but at the end of the day, when you talk to them, you ask them what's important to you. It always starts with jobs. Jobs for my family, a better job for me so I can raise my family better, and I can do some things for my family. Jobs for my children, jobs for my grandchildren. We've got small town problems. We've got rural America problems, right? But all these problems can be mitigated if they have jobs. So people want jobs, and want opportunity. They want those jobs today, and we went backwards in jobs the last couple of years. They also want good roads. And no one's out there bragging on our roads, right? We're not at the place we were maybe 10 years ago.
Maybe the people that do front end alignments.
Yeah. I think they're
people that sell tires.
Yeah, but they want roads. They want clean water. And so it's just, they don't understand why, for example, the Water Development Authority has about $80 million sitting in the account for the last 18 months. And we've got areas in West Virginia that need clean water, and we just don't seem to have a sense of urgency. So what I get is, what are you doing to help me? What are you doing to help me today? The cost of living is really hurting our citizens. Our per capita income's $52,000. Try to raise a family of four on that with the cost of electricity, the cost of medical care. It's really, really tough. And so just jobs, fix the roads, good schools, pay our teachers. That's the things that people care about. And other than that, leave me alone. That's what West Virginia, leave me alone. More local control, less top-down stuff from state government.
I think that would have looked good, better on the flag than Mountaineers are always free. Just leave me alone.
Just leave me alone. Absolutely.
All right, I want to ask you something. Okay.
Sure. Yes, sir.
You're always good, great about answering any question I ask. There's a lot of speculation that come 2028, we might see Larry Pack's name on the ballot for governor of West Virginia. How likely is that?
I answered that question yesterday, so here's our answer yesterday. I'll answer the same day. Five years ago, I was in the healthcare business, and if you asked me then what my plan was to be in that business until I retired, because I love that business. 5 years hence, I found myself as treasurer. So my last 5-year plan didn't work out very well. So I'll leave the next 5-year plan up to the Lord, and He'll decide where we're going to do and what we're going to do. But we're going to continue to work hard for West Virginians. We're going to continue to travel West Virginia and try to understand better what West Virginians want and bring that back to Charleston. But again, as West Virginians, when you're in last place, you got to work together to get out of last place or get out of 49th place. This infighting is not helping West Virginians.
So, Treasurer Larry Pack, always a pleasure to have you in the show. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks, sir.
It is 10 minutes away from 10. We'll take a break, come back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses are small businesses with big impact, including Generations Physical Therapy and Snap Fitness.
Running a business in the Kanawha Valley means dealing with a lot at once. Customers, employees, deadlines, and 100 little problems that pop up during the day. Technology shouldn't be one of them. At Next Level Technologies, we help Charleston area businesses keep their systems secure, backed up, and running smoothly so the workday stays on track. If you're spending too much time dealing with computer problems, it may be time for a better approach. Learn more at nextleveltech.com. Next Level Technologies, practical IT, strategic outcomes.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Grant Maltba, Project Manager with CEC. Ever dreamt of working hands-on with wildlife? As a bat biologist at CEC, I do just that. Every day is a new adventure, tackling unique challenges and helping clients meet their Endangered Species Act requirements. It's not just rewarding for me, but it boosts our local economy and aids bat conservation too. Want to make a difference in the field? Join us at CEC. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome back to the show, 7 away from 10. If you're a parent worried about how you're going to pay for college, Metro News proud to present the 19th annual West Virginia Scholar Program. One high school junior in the state is going to get a full scholarship to West Virginia, room, board, tuition, and fees, all included. For full details, go to WVMetroNews.com. Simply click on the Apply Now button. Deadline, though, is May 3rd. 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. WVMetroNews.com and apply today. Application deadline is May 3rd. Text says, looks like the Hope Scholarship will close some of our public schools in the future and will spur private schools to be built and established. Great to have choice for students in West Virginia, says the texter. Text says the governor is using his super PAC with out-of-state money to elect his hand-picked candidates. Pat Morrissey tried to make West Virginia into New Jersey. Ew. It's E with about 5 W's afterwards. Text says Governor-elect PAC is the best. I hope he's our next governor. So he answered it very well when I asked him about 2028. And I think a lot of things, in my opinion, and this is not me speaking for Larry PAC, I think a lot of things depend on other factors between now and then. And it's been a meteoric rise for Larry PAC. If you think about it, he said that this time 5 years ago he was in the healthcare field, and now he goes on to be chief of staff for then Governor Justice, and now he's state treasurer. So see what happens. It's going to be interesting. 100%. Later today, Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. No Amanda Barron today. She'll be back with us tomorrow. On the show today, our old friend Rob Cornelius, Hurricane Rob, going to stop by the show today. Jeff Jenkins will have the news. TJ Meadows will stick around with us. Dave Weekly with commentary. There is some concern in Greenbrier County as we get ready for the primary election that redistricting there happened a few years ago, and some are concerned that people aren't going to know where to vote. Now, there's a meeting being scheduled tonight to talk about it. The Greenbrier County Clerk's Office is involved, the ACLU, Secretary of State's office, so on and so forth. We're going to get into that story a little bit, plus more fallout from the Trump Jesus meme, and of course, Open Line West Virginia. Metro News Midday, brought to you by Salango Law, and that will be coming up at noon today on the show. This show, the local show tomorrow, we'll continue our series of interviews with candidates as we get ready for the May primary. We'll talk to Lisa Odie, who's hoping you will elect her to the Kanawha County Board of Education. It's coming up on tomorrow's show. Millie Snyder will stop by as well on tomorrow's show. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Huston's Pizza. This month, get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and a large tossed salad, $21.99. Dine in, pick up, or get delivery at HustonsPizza.com. Speaking of candidates and interviews, as I've said before, I give one free interview to any candidate in the election that asks. First come, first serve basis. Drop me an email, dave.allen@wvradio.com, dave.allen@wvradio.com, or reach out to me on social media, at Dave A70 on X or Dave Allen Radio on Facebook. First come, first serve basis. And again, as I said, not everybody can have, everybody says, I want the day early voting begins. It doesn't work that way, folks. It doesn't. We can't get everybody on at once. So I've got a Board of Education candidate on tomorrow. I've got a Board of Education candidate coming up on Friday's show. So get with me just as soon as you can. And I will not be on the show Thursday, the local show. I will be doing Metro News Midday, but I'm not here Thursday. Dale Cooper will be subbing for me on Thursday, as I am about to get shot full of radiation. So I may come back Thursday afternoon glowing. We shall see. Sad story. Jeff Jenkins posted at WVMetroNews.com. The story actually broke while I was on the show yesterday. The murder at Walmart in Nitro. According to Nitro Police and Kanawha County Sheriff's Office, Eric Richmond is alleged to have shot and killed a worker at the Walmart, Misty Williams, age 40, of Dunbar. Basically, she went to a car to take a break from work and never came back, and her fellow workers got worried about her, went out to check on her. Apparently, Eric Richmond and Misty Williams did have kids together. Investigation continues. Again, Jeff writes about it this morning, WVMetroNews.com. Now to quickly the Trump posting on Truth Social. You know all about it. Trump sharing a picture on Truth Social of him as the great healer. Outrage. People saying, some people said it wasn't real. It was. So apparently it was created months before by someone else. But for those saying the president didn't post it, he did. He admitted it, that he shared it, saying he saw it as him being a doctor. Is it blasphemy? Many people saw it that way. Others not so much. If indeed, as the president said, he thought it showed him as a doctor, I think that leads to bigger questions about his cognitive abilities. Someone said it was just Trump trolling the Pope. My question is, why is the president of the United States trolling anyone? And do you really want to pick a fight with the Pope, especially one from Chicago? I don't know if that's such a good idea. TJ Meadows, how you doing, man?
Terrible idea.
Okay.
Terrible idea to post that. He had an opportunity yesterday to apologize, and this adds injury to insult. He didn't do that. He said, yes, he posted it. He didn't apologize for it.
So to all the people that said he didn't post that.
He absolutely did.
He said it.
He said
it himself.
He said it. He didn't make it. I also don't buy that that's a doctor. Look, doctors wear white coats. They wear scrubs. They have stethoscopes around their neck. They use modern medicine and modern technology to heal people. They don't lay hands on people as that picture depicted. They don't have balls of light coming from their hand. You don't interpret that as being a doctor. And if you do, you're either not reasonable or, to your point, you have some other kind of issue. So, yes, yesterday was unfortunate. I do believe it is mocking God as a believer, and you don't do that. I mean, the scriptures are very clear. You do not do that. Trump had a chance to apologize, and to me, that's even more disappointing. He didn't do it. So I think he lost a lot of support among a lot of West Virginians yesterday who have backed him. I do. I'm telling you, go look at my comment and my post on Facebook.
Okay.
Look how much he's lost.
All right.
He's lost a lot.
But I will say, go scrolling as I did last night, and those that are for Trump are still for him, and I saw very few.
Good for them.
Very few.
And that's fine. It's a personal decision, but I'm not down with it.
All right. Coming up on the show tomorrow, Kanawha County Board of Education candidate Lisa Odie Millie Snyder will be here tomorrow as well. And that guy and the other guy coming up at 10:06. See you later. Till then, have fun. I love somebody.
WCHS AM, W243DRFM Charleston, and W283AQ Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.